Welcome to layer 5 of our mandala. Like I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I very rarely start by using pencil first and then inking in later, unless I'm doing some sort of pattern that involves weaving, similar to like Celtic knot type patterns. So I saw this pattern on a statue as like a border and thought it would be really interesting to try to draw it. I don't know if it has an official name or, if there are other tutorials out there how to draw this pattern. I just tried to figure it out based on a picture I took of this pattern on the statue. So I'm starting by, at the end of each grid space, putting in sort of like a bracket shape. So here's my sort of bracket shape. And then starting from the last bracket shape and drawing straight down and out around that original bracket. So let's go ahead and figure out how these connect with one another. What does this pattern look like? When you start to draw the connectors, you have to have one that just sort of hangs there. So I started by just putting a hanging curve first that will connect later. At the end of this, I went behind and let it curve around. And then I go behind and draw my curve around. So go behind, draw your curve around, go behind and draw the curve around, and keep on going with this pattern until you've connected all of those bracket shapes that you drew originally. As I'm drawing these curves, I'm trying to stay within that outer circle, that outer grid circle, but every once in a while, as usual, my curves do go over that outer circle a little bit. Let's try the inside now. So first I'm going to draw the hanging curve. And the only time you'll have to do this is at the very beginning when you start one of your weaving patterns. And then draw my inner curves. Start from here, go behind, draw my curve. Start from the other side and go behind and draw my curve. Now in this case, sometimes our curves are going to wind up having to go behind things that we've previously drawn, which is really nice because it makes it seem, layered automatically in our mandala, which is a nice little feature. Alright, so this series is done. Let's draw another set. So brackets first. Connector lines, going down the middle and outlining those brackets. I usually draw about 4 or 5 of these before connecting them together, making those outer curves. Alright, let's connect them together. Curve it around. And one more time. So I continue on in this way, first drawing my brackets and those like inner connections, and then going down the outside to do my curves, and going down the inside to do my curves until I've got all of my weaving pattern drawn around the entire mandala. I'll go ahead and speed this process up a bit. So I've got my weaving all drawn in with pencil, and I'm going to come in with my black marker and go ahead and draw it in officially. These layers, these weaving layers where I have to draw it in pencil first and then in marker second, take double the amount of time, but I really enjoy weaving patterns, so I feel like it's worth it. So I'll start out by drawing just those outer curves, trying to make sure that whenever I begin, I'm not overdrawing, I'm not crossing any lines that I don't want to cross. But at the same time that as I'm drawing, if I want to correct the shape of any of the pencil lines I had drawn previously, I can go ahead and do that now. So I'll first start by doing this outer layer, move on to that inner layer of the brackets and connectors, and then move on to the inner layer of those outer curves. I'll go ahead and speed this up a bit. for joining me for layer 5 of this mandala journey. I hope you enjoyed this weaving pattern as much as I did, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.